Can anyone become a millionaire? I want like if you're in chat right now, like what do you think? Because I'll tell you right now, like I think anybody can be a millionaire. I don't think everybody can be a millionaire, but I think anybody can. I know this Berserk guy. He has a channel with other people. It's called Family Friendly, and they do way funnier content there. For real, I think I've heard of Family Friendly. Let me subscribe real quick.
On April 29th.
Nah. Wait, maybe. I think anyone can. As a lot of it's pure luck. I don't believe that. I think I think a lot of people run into being millionaires out of pure luck. But I don't think becoming a millionaire is pure luck. Like, people who start businesses aren't purely lucky if they scale their business to the millions. Like they do certain things that get certain reactions, you know, like a science experiment, you know?
Anyone can make themselves a millionaire.
The trade to $1 million is insane.
I don't think so. Like if you start a business with a certain product that you studied and researched, with a certain marketing strategy that you studied and researched, with a certain goal to reach a certain group of people who have a certain amount of money, who value this product to a certain amount, like it's very calculated if it's calculated. People like PewDiePie who uploaded YouTube videos for fun, I'd say he got lucky, but he did all the right things unknowingly to become one of the first YouTube millionaires.
But it's still possible for them to do it, no?
It's possible, but to say anyone?
How are people going to, in a third world country, make money to be a millionaire?
Then maybe the way to become a millionaire from one of those countries is get out of the country.
Yeah, I agree. It's not it can be luck. I think a lot of people get lucky still, but just like you said, ASAP, I like the name ASAP. That's fire. Like if you can understand the world you live in, like let's say Steve Jobs realized people have needs and then supply the demand. I mean that's just straight capitalism, and then you're good. Like if you can solve someone's issue enough that it's valuable to them, if you can provide value, you can get value back because you're providing it. You know, like very simply, it's not easy by any means, but
you can't just get out.
It could go very wrong, but it's like a strategy game. There's always ways you can tweak your strategy.
I understand.
And you don't lose until you're dead.
Somebody.
Oh, hey there. Did you know that with AI's advancement,
That's a crazy thing to say. You don't lose until you're dead. But you deadass don't lose until you're dead.
Millionaire? Or at least work like one. Let me tell you how. But first, we'd like to...
But I agree. There's a lot of risk in trying to become a millionaire. But even if you fail, as long as you learn from that and then keep going at the same goal, you learn from that mistake and then you improve based off of that mistake. Or you read books and look at other people's mistakes and improve off of their mistakes. In my perspective.
Thank Google for sponsoring.
I think that's what a lot of people do. They like look at what people have done, look at what people have failed at, look at people who have found success with, and they study it and learn from other people's mistakes and take risks. And sometimes they fail, sometimes they win. And if they fail, it's not the end of the world. They try again.
This portion of the video. With all this recent buzz around AI, it may seem new, but fun fact, Google's been a leader in AI for years.
Absolutely, competition's heavy.
And what's wild is that AI can be used for so many things, from making a huge impact at a large scale to enhancing our daily lives.
Bro, why are we watching an ad? Let me skip this. My apologies. Wait, what? Teen millionaires? Are they all millionaires? What? That's crazy, bro. I know most of them are influencers, bro. That man drop ships. That person is an influencer, bro.
I would only date a millionaire. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hell no. Oh crap. The person.
It's extremely hard. Yeah, I think it's extremely hard, but I think anyone can. It's just all in your mind.
I want to be able to show them, all those.
And it's extremely hard.
Firsthand,
but I don't think that's.
I
think everybody's capable of accomplishing it.
To have money,
even if it's extremely hard.
The worst thing ever. Like for example, like the one thing.
But not everyone.
It's a test I do is like, for example, if a girl knows how to get into my car, like my Lamborghini, like you have to like specifically know how to open the door. I specifically let them figure it out. If they figure it out, that's the last. That's the last date.
Seriously,
that's the last date we're going on.
I want my husband to be like a really good dad and be like morally correct.
What does this have to do with
if he
being a
doesn't have a lot of
millionaire?
money, you know what, that's fine. I don't know if men really are comfortable with that, to be completely honest. From my personal experience, they're not. They want to be the ones providing,
I
which
think
kind of
someone's
sucks.
on
But
a
you know,
OnlyFans.
personality and morals and like their mindset is way more important than money.
I feel like money doesn't define a person at all. Like if I'm gonna date you, it's for your personality, not your looks, not your money. I don't care. From personal experience, money has absolutely nothing to do with a relationship.
So I agree with you guys, but as a woman, I don't want to be the one paying the bills and taking care of their house. And so
That's
for me,
true.
like, you don't have to be the richest person in the world, but if I'm gonna be a millionaire or multimillionaire or whatever it is, I at least want to be the person that encourages you to do the same. But I don't want to be, I've had it done before, and it's been the most
She
exhausting
changed
thing
positions.
because it's like, you can be the sweetest man ever, but if we go out and I'm paying
They're
for
all
everything and I'm doing
teenagers,
everything,
apparently.
it's too much. That's why I'm just like, I somewhat agree that I need you to be a millionaire, or at least be making enough money to where I'm fully taken
Wait, someone said 16?
care of.
I'm tripping.
And then we can be a powerhouse
Wow.
together, like Beyonce and
That's
Jay-Z.
crazy.
So.
I think
Yeah,
I
love
think a
that,
lot
the
of the
voice.
times it's different from a girl's perspective versus a guy. I think girls want to be taken care of. I think that's a beautiful thing. I've always just been the one to take care of girls and pay for everything. I think as a guy, you should be doing that.
But I mean,
He says it's
on
so
this topic,
crazy,
my point
bro.
is you brought up something of saying, oh, if the girl doesn't know how to open up my car door, I wouldn't even date her. But I feel like, you know, I feel like it's ever so selfish because
That
you
man's
feel
in
like,
crypto.
oh, I want to get happiness by making this girl, you know, spending money on her. But at the same time, I feel like the only binding factor in your relationship is money at that point, right? Because if you stop providing money to her, then she gets used to that lifestyle. Then she's like, okay, I'm gonna find someone else.
The reason I say that is because I wasn't looking at it like a sense of like that, but more like getting
He's like, he got that Babytron focused on his work type of look.
used for it.
And that's probably very offensive to say. I'm sorry.
Like, girls will want to go on dates with you because you can take them to that dinner. You know, they want all of that. So I feel like that's very common that they will use you for that. And it's like it's a thing I'm scared of, you know? Like it's happened to me many times. So it's like, I said it like that and it sounded kind of crazy.
I feel that way about crypto. See, I don't understand crypto, but
And everyone's like, well,
I almost feel like you're lucky if you win in crypto.
oh, what the hell?
Like I feel
But,
like a lot
you
of
know
luck
what I mean,
probably
you know?
goes
Like,
into it.
it's common.
Unless you were really early on like Bitcoin, and you were like, you know what, I believe in this, and you're like, it's like 2015 or even earlier, and you're like, I believe in Bitcoin. And everybody's like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? I've never heard of that.
Girls will
That
only
is-
come to you because you have the Lambo, because you make the money,
Yeah, exactly,
and they don't
so-
care about you, you know? So that's what I was kind of going at. I like a girl who just doesn't care about money at all, you know?
Something that I do whenever I meet people is I don't tell them my name. I don't tell them
YouTuber.
my Instagram. I don't want them to be able to search me up, know how much money I make, know where I live, and know the lifestyle that I live, because that's how I avoid people using me for money.
Yeah, I have 2 different Instagrams, so like,
Me too. Me
yeah,
too.
I have
Oh,
one
wow.
Instagram I'll send to them, and like, if, you know, it's kind of test, you know? If they look through it, there's no cars, nothing flashy, it's like me and my mom and like Marshall's
fair.
clothing. And like, if they with that, like, then we go on, you know?
Yeah.
No, I actually have a rule. If you know who I am, you're officially like off the list. Like I cannot talk to you at all.
Is she a
Because
YouTuber?
Oh my God.
what happens is
Poor guys.
in the past, like when I've met guys and they know like what I do, we'll go out and I'm like, okay, we're going out to dinner. You know, I look nice and everything. And then they're like,
Yeah, I'd be worried about being used for my money too.
so do you know?
Because I understand people are in desperate situations, and almost can't even blame them for being with a guy mostly for money because of how bad their situations can be.
I don't know if you could teach me how to trade. And I'm like, okay. And it's just like dread the
There's
rest
no
of the
way
night.
that's happening.
No.
Like, there's a guy
He
that
like
like,
pulls out like a notebook.
It's
He's
like the
ready.
number one thing. My name is Kelly OG, and I am the biggest secret that you've probably never heard, which is okay
Yep.
because it's a secret. My net worth is about $20 million.
What do you
Ooh.
think makes you a great entrepreneur?
My relentlessness to never give up. I've never believed that I couldn't do anything. Even in the cases where it was probably not the most likely, I've just always worked towards it, saying one day it's gonna come. And I think that work ethic and tenacity just continued to compound and roll over and snowball itself into what I have today.
It is easier to make money if you're white. 3, 2, 1, go.
No, they took it. They took it there. They took it there. Ooh.
My mentor is not white, and he's worth $204 million. So I think I've seen it firsthand.
That's a bad case study. Like he said, the question was, is it easier to make money if you're white? Not, do you have money? Like, I've met Jay-Z before. He has a lot of money. That must mean it's easier to make money if you're black. That, like, I don't know why he's using that as an example. A black person with money? No, the point is how you got the money and how hard it was to get the money.
You know, most of my friend group.
Did he watch him make the money, or he's just saying he has money?
Not whites, and they do very well for themselves.
It's not if you do well for themselves, it's how hard it takes to do well for himself. Like, he didn't, it's like he didn't listen to the question.
I would say you're almost an exception with what the majority is. I think majority-wise, if you look at just the demographic of the United States, you know, whenever you think of trust fund babies, whenever you think of houses in the Hamptons, whenever you think of that luxury lifestyle, it's not usually the black demographic or people of color in general. For example, when slavery was a thing, white people had a 200-year head start to start their businesses, to set up their families for success and all that. So when black people finally had the opportunities, which was not until recently 1965, to really be in the same rooms as white people, you're looking at a large discrepancy in time and success and achievement. So I think just naturally in general, white people are taken as more serious because of the stereotypes that have been put on people of color. So that's where I'm like, I agree with that statement, not saying that people of color cannot be successful, but just saying that it's more likely for someone who is white to have better opportunities than someone who isn't.
I mean, maybe in past generations, what you're saying is 100% true, right? If you're based on race, people...
Yo, he reminds me of Matan. Nimton Books. That's what he reminds me of, bro. It took me a second.
Perceive you differently. But I feel like now this new generation, you can become wealthy from the internet, right? Like you're in Forex, I'm in crypto. I don't have to have any face on the products I create. It doesn't matter what race I am, because if they don't know who I am selling the products to them, I don't think it's that, you know, valid as a point today than it used to be in previous generations.
Yeah, like if he's talking about drop shipping, for sure. But like depending on the business, if you have people who are making deals based on how they feel or things that are like, it depends. It depends. Because if there's people in power who are racist, they can affect how you make money.
I agree.
It just depends what business you're in.
You're
like if you're drop shipping, no one's gonna be like, let me research the person who's selling me this product. Oh, they're black, let me not pay for it. It just depends on the business you're in, for sure.
Face doesn't always have to be tied to it. So, I mean, she changed my mind a little bit because I feel like I was a little bit too hard.
BBC racist as hell. Depends on the industry, really. Wow. I don't know much about BBC. That's crazy.
You did make like a really good point. Statistically, you were 150% correct. Like you were right. But I think in my firsthand experience, just the people I've been around, a lot of them are not white and they are successful. So that's why I was like all the way to the right. Now I'm like here.
I think we forget that not everybody's job is online and not everybody's
I don't know why I would use that as an example.
job. You can hide behind a screen, and most people work everyday jobs in person doing, you know, customer service where people have to look at them. So I think if we're talking about if it's easier to make money as a white person, I would say yes, because applying to jobs, most of the time if they go into an interview and they're a person of color, they're probably less likely to get that job than a white person. And also a white person is probably gonna get paid more than a person of color. We've seen it in the statistics. So I think it is easier to make more money as a white person.
I think two things specifically. For one, although I'm right here, Indians make the most amount of money in America when it comes to any racial demographic group, which is great. So shout out to the Indians. But two, with that being said, I remember when I started my business, I had a very in-depth conversation with my father, and he said, Jay, if I were you, I would highly recommend staying behind the scenes and letting a white man run the business, because they get along with people a little bit better than we do, just because people don't understand Indians. But even in that, you could, you know, develop yourself to be a great CEO regardless. I mean, there's huge companies in America that they're all ran by Indian Americans or Indians.
Starbucks.
I mean, whether it's Google, whether it's Microsoft, I mean, these are all ran by Indian Americans. I'm Jay, I'm the CEO.
Yeah, I think it's culturally, like in their culture is very pushed, intelligence, I suppose.
Principal of Modere. A quick 30 seconds in regard to who I am. I started programming at the age of 9. At 11, I started freelancing. I got my first contract with a local salon to build their website. And then at 14 is when I got my first large contract with a Fortune 500 company. At 15, I dropped out of high school to pursue my agency full time. And at
Whoa, you get a contract with a Fortune 500, a top company at 14 is insane.
18, I moved to Dallas, Texas. I'm originally from
13.
I'm Isabella, and I am a designer, entrepreneur, and reality TV star. I started out on reality TV on the show Toddlers and Tiaras. I was 6 years old when I was named one of the youngest self-made millionaires, and I really loved fashion, so I created my first brand, which was a suit and blazer line, sold that to JCPenney for private labeling, started a jewelry company where you wins accomplishment bracelets. I created House of Bready, which is now my global business, which has made me more than $1 million now.
Yeah, I called her. I said she was an influencer when I first saw her. My apologies.
Also writing a book.
Well, she is on a reality TV show, but like it sounds like she really started out with like entrepreneurship.
A Teen's Guide to Business,
like selling.
to show people how to become who I am today.
I have flaunted my wealth. 3,
Nothing's
2,
wrong with that.
1,
Flex.
go.
Nothing's wrong with that. Who hasn't? Who hasn't?
I was bullied as a kid.
Yeah.
So flaunting my wealth was kind of my way of saying, hey, I made it. And
He
I kind
gives
of
off
looking
that
back
vibe.
at it, I wasn't as satisfied as I thought I would be. Like I thought like, oh, I got the Lambo, and like everyone's like, oh my God, you know?
I agree, and like I feel like I don't flaunt it, but like I've worked very hard. So if I want,
She's a reality TV star. I don't flaunt my work, and then she, car girl. I love this life in my blood. My top 3 cars are AMG, bro, BMW M4, like McLaren. Bro, she's flexing, bro. Just be honest.
want to post my nice car, I'm gonna post my nice car because I made the money to buy that.
She's
If
flaunting,
I want to post
bruh.
me buying something at Gucci, I'm gonna do that because I worked hard for that. It's not flaunting.
Yeah,
It's more of like self. You know.
You're proud.
Yeah, I'm proud of it. Exactly.
But
Do you ever feel guilty doing that? Because sometimes
Like,
I
yes.
do.
Yeah.
In my like, yeah.
Oh my.
Like I agree with you on the
Yeah, she's just saying flaunting isn't the right word, but I flaunt. I flaunt my money, but for good reasons. And I don't think flaunting gives off the right
I
like,
used
tone.
to get bullied like crazy. I just feel guilty because I'm like some people just they won't have this opportunity, or maybe they will, but I just like my mindset around it. I feel bad sometimes, but at the same time, it's not like we're trust fund kids. We worked for
Probably,
it.
yeah,
Anyone
for real.
have a trust fund?
Ooh. Oh.
No.
No.
Wow.
Okay, continue.
Imagine they're all like self-made entrepreneurs, and there's one person who's like, my grandpa, he died, and he left me $48 million.
I definitely
That'd be so
remember
awkward.
when I first started making a little bit of money. I would have those little corny Instagram flexes on your story. I won't lie.
Like the little,
Was like the
little
watch?
watch.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was like
Watch on the steering wheel.
Yeah. I'm done.
Right, it was like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But I
don't
think as
understand
I've
watches.
grown up a little bit, it's not really. I don't do it as much.
I've just posted a video flying first class. Almost every single one of my thumbnails have NYC penthouse in it. So I
That's not flaunting. That's a tax write-off.
do.
Thanks for the
I'm in
views.
strongly agree because I do flaunt it. But for me, the reason why I do it is, first of all, it's clickable. Everyone wants to, see how did she do that. But also, people can go back and see how I started and see how I grew myself up to there. And I get a lot of comments all the time being like, wow, it's so cool seeing you grow up from living in your friend's basement to now a penthouse. And I think the difference for me, instead of feeling like I'm showing off and stuff, is because I'm showing people how I did it in hopes to inspire people that aren't living this lifestyle, that maybe live the lifestyle that I used to, that it is achievable, and that if they want to live this lifestyle, potentially they could. My name is Mai.
Yeah, I
I'm a
agree.
YouTuber, and I'm also the founder of my clothing line, Alchemy. I'm
It
20 years
also
old
gets
now, but I
views.
made my first million when I was 18. I've just
Yeah, we hate watches over here. We
been
hate
doing
watches.
YouTube for a very, very, very long time, but I feel like when I was younger and I wasn't making that much money, I learned how to budget my
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What does that mean?
money a lot. So honestly, what drives me to do what I do every single day is just
Bro, I know there's a lot of UK slang, but what does that mean, bro?
to be able to provide for the people around me and to be able to inspire as many creatives as I possibly can. Like that is my main motive at this point.
I think this is like a missing translation. I think that's all it is, bro.
Not-
What's that you? What do you mean banging, bro? What do you mean banging?
For
Like, are you talking about who's on my screen? Like, oh my god, that's what you meant. Okay.
financial purposes anymore.
My name is Yusuf, and I am a crypto entrepreneur. I was learning stocks.
I think like when this is off track, but like if you have money, you can make yourself maybe like 2 points out of 10 more attractive, and not for bad reasons. And I'm not saying plastic surgery, but like the extent you can take self-care and having other people take care of you as well, like having like someone who does your hair for you and having someone who manages what you're having your own dermatologist and like for every issue you have, getting it treated within a week, like all these things, like you can literally you can't, yeah, like sometimes you ain't ugly, you just broke. Sometimes
Investing at quite a young
you
age.
can make yourself like 2 points prettier.
Around 10 years old.
The money glow
And,
up. You see it with like a lot of creators, bro.
Going to dropshipping, and then after around maybe like 20 attempts of failed stores, I hit one really big hit. And then in 2018, I bought Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other altcoins like Zilliqa and VeChain. And in 2021, I created my own cryptocurrency, and I started helping other people buy building their cryptos for them. It was like, you know, it was a level up system. I did this, then I wanted that, and it just kept progressively getting better, I feel.
We should do a group trip to St. Bart's.
No, like please.
Yes.
We should actually.
Can you please do a group trip, y'all?
You're paying, right?
Of course.
Oh my
Liz, are you free next week? We're all going to St. Bart's. We'd love for you to come.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to. Let me just like
We'll book your
collect
flight.
all my credit cards.
Oh, we should actually.
Are you fantasizing right now?
Dude, we'll go here to Miami.
Hey, but
Dude.
All right, we'll make it happen.
All right,
Yeah.
let's get serious, guys.
This
What do you
trip's
mean?
going
We are
with our
serious.
group chat, y'all.
Yeah, we're being
That's
serious.
jokes.
I would be a different person if I didn't have this money. 3, 2, 1, go.
A different person. I didn't have this money. Yo, I'm proud of you, bro. I would be a different person if I didn't have this money. What does that mean? If I'd be a different... Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I think everybody would be a little different if they didn't have the money.
Money or
Just
not,
a little
still the
bit.
same
It just depends what you mean by a different person.
person. I always preach on my social media,
Like,
just
you
be
shouldn't
authentic
switch
and
up.
be you, and
You shouldn't be a
people will love
snake.
you for who you are.
But, like, you are going to
I think
change.
for me, when I didn't have money and I was living at my parents' house, I had a lot of mental health issues. I
Exactly.
was depressed and I was suicidal.
Some people can't, most people can't afford, like a lot of people can't afford to pay a therapist as much as you have to pay a therapist to get as much therapy as they'd like to get.
And I think having the money to be able to move myself out
example.
of that environment completely changed my life. Having money has boosted my confidence so much, just in a way where I have a nose job, so I was able to do that. And I used to look in the mirror every single day and just cry and cry and cry because I thought I was so ugly. And having money now to be able to live wherever I want, live with whoever I want, and
That is
being able
crazy.
to, you know, change things about my appearance. So I think that money completely changed my life, and without it, my personality wouldn't even be the same. Because when I was younger and I was in that toxic household where my parents were arguing about money every single day, that made me such a negative person. I was not the optimistic, positive person that I am today. And I think that having money and getting myself out of that has completely changed my personality.
You know, I would agree money gives you a lot of opportunities. It allows you to afford a lot of things, get out of different environments. And I want that experience for everyone. So I love that you were able to take care of not only your family, but how your confidence is and allows you to hold your head higher. I love that for you. I think there's a saying that money doesn't change you. It amplifies who you already are. If you're usually a selfish person, you're gonna think everybody sees you for the money for the most part. You're gonna think everyone needs to owe you. If you're a cocky person, you're gonna make the money define who you are.
Just to kind of piggyback off of what you said, I genuinely feel like I'm the same kid as I was when I started programming at the age of 9. Like, just a hardworking kid that wanted to make something out of himself. I
That's
feel as if
great.
I was just in college
Honestly.
right now, I'd still be like working hard at school, trying to improve myself. I'm still the same guy. I might dress a little bit nicer and eat better food, but fundamentally the same kid.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I 100% agree with what you're saying, that, you know, your fundamentals stay the same. But to say you were the same person when you were 9 till you were now, right? I mean, like, I feel like, I don't know, maybe
I
there's an
feel like
alternate
this is
version of yourself that wasn't
this is a
successful.
dumb question. I think everybody's changed since before they were a millionaire and then when they were a millionaire. Whether that's because of the money or whether that's because of other reasons, I feel like the question is just a little dodgy. There's a big,
Well,
like,
if you go
middle
look
space.
have a conversation with that person, you can't say, oh, me and him are the same. I feel like to be strongly disagree is a bit too harsh. I feel like, you know, experiences have definitely shaped your being, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where I would be
Yeah,
at. Like, I feel
absolutely.
like, yes, I still am the same.
That's very fair.
Yeah, I feel like I still am the same person. Like, I still like the same things, but like he said, experiences 100% shape you. Like, the people you're around, that rubs off. And right now, my best friends in high school are like cracking like 100 beers a day and like posting on their Snapchat story. It's like,
Yeah, true.
I would be with them right now. So I would 100% not be the same person. You know, now I'm doing different things.
That's a really good example. So I feel as if although the experience would be different, as an individual, I genuinely feel I'm the same guy. Always worked hard. I mean, I have immigrant parents. So I always had a little bit of a burden on my head. It transitioned very organically for me to become an entrepreneur. And I think that's the difference. But that's why I also had to go to disagree in terms of, actually, maybe I'll go to somewhat disagree.
I had a question. You've been talking about work ethic a lot, but do you think that it's changed your confidence or the way you view certain things?
Like, yeah, for like not in like a this guy's well spoken, because most of those people can't speak right, because people do that with black people. But like bro just, he's like actually well spoken, and not in like a backhanded type of way. He's dead ass more well spoken than anybody I know.
Work ethic, I think, is single-handedly the most important thing when it comes to any success in life. Like, I used to be a very chubby and overweight guy. I got my shit together and dropped my ignorance, did all the research, and I ended up getting into really good shape. So that all really just comes from your work ethic at the end of the day.
As a society, the number one thing we chase is money, because money is what all of our problems kind of lie under, what the bills lie under, what just living a life lies under, what eating lies under. And so for a lot of people, they don't have the opportunities, they don't have the freedom, they don't have the breathing room. So every single day is just chasing money and living paycheck to paycheck. When you do have money, you can take the step back and be like, okay, all of that's taken care of. Let me focus on me, let me focus on my relationships, let me focus on repairing things. So I think that's a really big privilege that I think we do have. And I think it's subjective to all of us. Like, we all have different experiences. So I think money has changed people, but I think the connotation is always a bad thing.
Yeah.
And that's why people fight so hard for money has.
I think they have the same opinion. It's just how they're interpreting the question.
Changed me.
I really don't want to spend much more. I'm not going to spend much more time on this question, because they hold the same opinion. It's just how they interpret the question. Like, because when you say, did you change after you made money? It's always like a negative type of way, but everybody's going to change after they make money.
I am lonely. 3, 2,
Oh,
1,
no. Okay.
go.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Forget y'all. Like,
I think
Yo, for
like,
real.
in a work
I'd be doing
aspect,
weird stuff with money.
no, I'm not lonely. Yeah. In a personal aspect, absolutely. Like, a lot of my friends, we don't do the same things. I love them to death. They have great morals. They're great people. But like mentally wise, it's very different. And like, I just feel different. I feel lonely.
I prefer being kind of alone.
Oh,
me too. I've grown to like it.
I enjoy it a lot.
I enjoy
to be honest with you. Like, sometimes I literally just want to go out at night and just drive alone, or just be in my house alone. I'm kind of an antisocial person because I was forced to be like that as a young kid, because people did not like me. They bullied me. They did not want to spend time with me. So I guess that kind of molded me into being like preferring to be alone.
I think humans are social creatures. Like, if anybody had the choice of being around people they love to be around, they 100% would. I think it's just the issue is just finding people you like.
It's hard to find like.
I don't think anybody really likes to be too lonely. There's sometimes where you do want to be alone, but I think overall humans are social creatures. You don't want to be lonely.
Minded 18, 19, and 20
Right.
year olds.
And actually, I was gonna say, being in this room right now, that completely, I was like,
that's like the
you know
first
what?
time I don't feel lonely. Like, all my friends are 24, 25, 26,
Yeah,
27.
Same. Oh my God.
They're all about to have like kids, and I'm like, yeah, you know?
Like, what the?
And like, this is like the first time I've been able to have like a educated conversation with someone my age. Like, usually an 18, 19-year-old's like, yeah, dude, college party, man.
Jaden Smith.
Let's go. Like, you know,
no,
but
I
this
feel
is like
lonely
cool.
in that sense too. I think when it comes to actually having friends, I ain't
It's
got
hard.
no friends.
I ain't got nobody.
Because
really hard.
there's always a difference. I mean, if you're talking about, it gets to the point if I want to hang out with my friends, then I'm the one paying for everything, and it's a really difficult position for me. Like, one of my biggest prayers that I've been praying for like the last year is for God to introduce me to girlfriends, like friends that are girls that are doing the same thing I'm doing, that are doing really well. I think it's awesome.
I feel
that,
bad.
You know, we're all in
That's
this
a
room.
tough situation.
I'm happy that we all did this. Yeah.
So wait, you guys aren't lonely? Like, you don't like to be lonely?
Yeah.
No. Like,
What the hell?
I feel like I thought
Like,
you were gonna be like, you're a
They're
crypto
just
trader.
flexing on
Like,
us. Like,
I mean, like, I enjoy my own company, you know. I love
Even if you have a group of friends, real quick, even if you have a group of friends you're really cool with, if you're a millionaire, they're gonna want you to pay every time. Like, if that complicates things so much, unfortunately.
spending time myself, going on walks, etc. But like, I have big networks of other like-minded crypto people and different traders.
Even if they do pay for themselves in some things, like if you have friends that aren't financially super secure, if they run into any large problems in life, you are a go-to shop. Like, it just makes you, it'd be weird for you not to help them in some situations, like when they it really does complicate things.
So I'm blessed in that sense. Like maybe some of you were saying, like I know you were saying that you don't have people you could talk to about like your age who are like into the forex industry. And I feel like I'm surrounded with a lot of people. Maybe they are older, but I don't mind that. I don't mind having friends who are 24, 25, 26, You
don't? I do.
I
so
don't.
I feel like
If
they
they
don't have the
relate.
same problems as me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like still trying to find like my first girlfriend that's gonna last more than a year.
Yeah, but they were
you
17
know?
once, right? Or they were 17, 18 once. So
yeah,
if
but
you talk to them, then
it's different when you're not in the same, because they look at you different. You know,
They
they
look
look
at
at
you
you
like
as
a
like a son, or like that's my relationship with my older friends. Like, they're my mentors. I look up to them for business advice. So there's a little bit of a personal disconnect that I feel. You know, and I'm surprised you guys don't.
I don't. He does not seem like
Feel that.
Oh no, bro. I feel like being in his shoes, like being broke might be better, bro.
That's why I'm so shocked.
Damn, bro. Not like that. I don't know.
Do you guys
bro.
think you had a childhood?
He going through a lot.
No.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
What was that?
No.
Not really. No.
I don't think I had a childhood.
No,
I also think
I feel like
I forced myself to not have a childhood. Because I was just always like, I need to become somebody and I need to take care of my family. So, like.
It was and wasn't my
Why does she look like DDG? Why does she look like DDG, bro? That's crazy.
It's always me.
I mean, I think I always had like an underlying pressure being from an immigrant family to always like try to succeed. But I mean, I think I had a great childhood. I mean, I have two older sisters that I spent time with. I played basketball, did track, did the whole 9 yards. And then I think my childhood really ended probably when I was like in 7th grade. After that, I just was focused a lot on business.
I see it slightly.
I'm grateful for the childhood like I had, but I don't think it's traditional whatsoever.
Oh,
like
agreed.
it's so different. Like I put like every element of myself online for people to judge, and it was hard. It was really hard, but I still had fun. Like I definitely did stupid things, which I'm I'm so grateful for. I look back and I'm like, yeah, okay, I had fun still, which is really what matters to me.
Would you trade your money for your childhood?
No.
I thought about it.
No.
Really?
For me, I didn't really have very much of a childhood because my parents were working from morning to night. So that's why I went online to seek a community and people to talk to. I would play games on my PC and stream that to talk to people, and that's where I am today. But that's also the reason why my mom lives with me now, is because I feel like she never got to raise me and I never got a mother figure in my life. So that's kind of why I'm mending that relationship now, so that we both feel like, she was my parent.
I've thought about it though. Like definitely. Like sometimes, like when I call like my friends that are in college and they're telling me like their biggest problem is like their history test, I'm like, dude, please, bro, please make that my problem.
No, his biggest problem is not his history test. His biggest problem is that he's like some history major in college about to leave with $100K in debt. I feel like he probably can't identify his issues, but his money issues run much deeper. But I think people in that position don't have the ability to like acknowledge what the real issue is, or what their biggest issue really is.
Problem like
I don't know. That might have been a little random.
My biggest priority.
Yeah. I don't mean to.
So sometimes when I think on that standpoint, I definitely consider it. Like, yeah, the money's great, everything's great, but again, we all kind of talked about like how much do we value money. Like sometimes I do value the other things as well, like the actual personal experiences. I wouldn't mind being with my friends right now in the basement, watching sports and hanging out. Like I would not mind that at all. Like, but
you can't do that.
We make the hard decisions. That's the thing. We all made the hard decision, and
not being in college makes it a lot
We're all
harder.
faced with very tough challenges and problems.
Yeah.
But we also get the other half of that, which is all the success and the money and the notoriety.
Comes with it. Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm an entrepreneur in the e-commerce space and a business consultant. For a great entrepreneur, you definitely have to be to your own. You have to be a person that is able to motivate yourself. Being able to be alone, a lot of people aren't able to not be social. So
from him, I mean, bro, drop shipping.
Antisocial, I think, is kind of with it. Like when I see people that are entrepreneurs,
it would be rough. It would be rough to miss that. It is rough to miss that.
If they can't be on their own, they are gonna struggle.
And seeing it, and then knowing that you're not involved in that when it's such an opportunity, I suppose socially, it's not fun, but it is what it is. There's always a plan. Anyone can make themselves a millionaire.
Anyone can make
now
themselves
this is the question.
Millionaire.
This is the question.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh.
Really?
Oh,
I think some people are like. I think some people are the people who I think can't are usually so like down
So
in their
much
mind
free-
that they don't think of it as a possibility. So they don't even allow themselves to plan or strategize how they would actually make that happen. I think it's the people who are broken.
Advertising,
I mean, the
YouTube,
reason
think-
why.
Yeah,
What's
go
your
ahead.
argument to say that not
think
everyone
everybody
can make
can,
themselves a
though.
millionaire? Is it the like non-equality thing or like
Well, I think-
resources?
Ooh,
Really
you
look at the
thinking,
likelihood,
bro?
You have to make $1,000 1,000 times, which is just insane. Like, I think everyone can try their hardest, but you won't always get the right exposure to have $1 million put into. You won't always get the right opportunities. It's easy for us because we've done it to be like, well, I did it, so anybody else can do it. But there are many people that do exactly what we do, but yet you are in the position you're in for a reason. There's a lot of people that build apps and have like a company surrounded by that. There's a lot of people that have done crypto and now their lives are in shambles. There's a lot of people that have done drop shipping and it was the worst thing they ever did. There's a lot of people that have built
Bro,
different
there's like a
companies.
$200 investment. How is it the worst thing you've ever done? Even if it does like go wrong, like I feel like
And it was next to nothing, and there's
All right,
millions
I'm
and millions
here.
of bloggers on YouTube, and it's amounted to nothing. Even for me, I know so many people that trade, and I'm like, it's going to be very hard for you to get to where I'm at because I traded and built a company, but to trade to $1 million is insane.
But it's still possible for them
Yeah.
to do it, no?
It's possible, but to
When does
say
it stop
anyone,
become-
But
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing.
But also the reason.
technically, like if you're looking at it as a standpoint, anybody can. You
I mean,
know?
Yeah,
The
the only thing that constraints you is time. That's the only thing you can't control.
Why? I mean, I also think I'm very privileged, to be honest with you, because I have like my mentor. He comes from like the projects, like.
Bro, they
from
need to
the
make up their
projects,
mind,
and
bro.
he's worth 9 figures. So for me, I go, if he came from that circumstance in life,
But I also think that most of us are in the US and that's where a lot of money is made, but a lot of people don't get granted a visa to come here. Think about the people that don't have internet. They don't have the library to go to get the internet. And also think about the people that from their family situation, for some reason now they're homeless. And in order to, people always say, well,
The ability, look, I don't think they're thinking of the question right. Like, can you? 100% anyone can. Will it be easy? Will it be equally difficult for everybody? By no means at all. Some people get loans of $1 million. Some people are born into the streets, but like anyone can.
well, then get a job. But in order to get a job, you need to be able to have a home address, and not everybody has that. It's just those little things that we don't think about to even get to that first step of getting a job.
It might be disgustingly hard, but that doesn't change the question. Anyone can.
Thing, right? Like you were mentioning earlier, you're basically saying that, oh, people's lives are in shambles because of crypto or Forex, but it's very rarely the mistake of external factors. It's because they did a mistake along the way, right? They were too reckless with their research and they just dumped all their money into it.
What do you mean these girls can't stand for an hour? What do you mean?
I feel like the reason why I'm here.
Oh, because they're sitting, bro. I think they're in high heels. I just realized they're in high heels. I guess that's why.
There's maybe another one, but it's because I feel like it is possible, but depending on your circumstance, it could be exponentially harder, right? If you're like someone from like Ethiopia who has no internet access, for instance, then of course it's going to be so much harder, but it's still possible. I mean, if you,
but
like you're
what
saying,
would you recommend they should do?
I mean,
think
I
if
don't
you,
know. I'm
if
not
you
that.
say like it's easier, because I'm Nigerian. I recently just came from Nigeria. They get paid like $100 a month,
Yeah.
and that's insane to them. So I feel like if you're gonna say, okay, well, if you don't have internet access, it's still possible. Give an example of how it's possible.
I know someone who's actually Nigerian, but then there was a public library he went to, which was like 3 hours away, and then he created cryptocurrency from that. So while I feel like to say it's impossible is too much, because I believe nothing in this universe is impossible.
No, that's
There's
true.
always a certain extent where something can be achieved. I think, you know, even the most crazy situation is 99.99% impossible, but nothing's 100% impossible, right? So I feel like to say there's a type of person that can 100% can't be a millionaire is very rare.
But it's not about making money. There's a certain type of person that a millionaire. That's
a crazy
completely different.
Yeah, but anything's possible.
I think, okay, if somebody asked you, right, to put it in your terms, what is your prediction for Bitcoin, for example? You wouldn't tell them anything's possible, it could go to 100 million.
No.
You would actually back it up with actual like facts
Exactly.
and statistics
Yeah.
as to why. So when I think of just logically thinking, can anyone become a millionaire? It's like, you want to back that up, and if you say, I mean, yeah, they barely get paid and they don't live in a house and they're eating and drinking water from a river, but anything's possible. It's like, where do you think somebody's going to magically come down and be like,
Oh,
this is how
shoot.
you're going to get from this
I think the
level to
reason
that?
I think like because there's so many different methods of providing value to other people, and whenever you're providing value, you can monetize it. But yeah, it's gonna be very difficult no matter what situation. But I still can't see how any person in any situation cannot be a millionaire.
I think it's also a
Like any time in their life, just cannot.
mindset. I think truly it's
And even if you're in like a country that doesn't have a lot of like that's really tragic, how can you get out of that? For example, like how can you get out of that country? Even if it's not getting into America, because I know getting into America is extremely difficult. If you're in North Korea, buddy, good luck. Good luck, buddy. Yeah, no. That's a little different, but like, but yeah, I think I was thinking like if you're in a country where it's gonna be really difficult for you to build your way up, how can you get out of that country? You hear a lot about people immigrating to live greater lives, and how do you do that? You know, like just I feel like I don't see why it's not possible to work your way up step by step.
it's a mindset. Like you have to be mentally strong enough to go through the work, put like you're all into something.
Pause. Can you choose a side, if you can?
Oh yeah.
This is a hard question.
Ooh.
No, I'm staying in the middle.
Defend it.
Oh.
There you go.
I mean, I just haven't done research on third world countries, but if you, like, it is possible. Like, again, you may have to take that 4-hour walk to that pop-up library with like
Pick a
one
side,
antenna or
They pressed you. Pick a
whatever
side.
the case may be. But again, it's possible.
Yeah, but at the same time, like she shifted me on this side because what she said is 100% true. You know, it is theoretically possible. You know, just even though it isn't anyone can become a millionaire. You know, because like even 0.001% chance, let's say you have the worst situation possible. Even though you know it is theoretically possible, in a real world scenario, that's not true. It's like saying, you know, what's the probability you roll a dice and then it lands on the edge instead of any other number? While there's like a really small probability, at the same time you can't say, oh yeah, it's possible, you know, because it's like such a small chance, which is why I'm more on this side now.
Yeah, I think I just recently took a trip back to Vietnam, and my parents immigrated from there, and I think I just realized that you guys are talking about these online services make money, but a lot of places don't even have banks. They run on cash.
Do you need a bank to be a millionaire?
No, because cash.
But then
Cash
how are
money?
people going to, in those
No,
countries,
that's true.
make money to be a millionaire?
Aqua.
when-
Yo,
way
it's good,
become a
Aqua. I know who you are. All right. Back to
Mayor
me.
from one of those countries is get out of the country.
Hey, thank
But
you
can't
for
just
being the
get out of country.
31st.
I'm somebody
follower.
that had to wait 2
That is
years.
hard.
Yeah, I'm somebody that had to wait like 2 to 3 years to be able to get my visa, and now
Okay, that's what. Okay, I don't know. I don't think the lottery. I think the lottery's not how you get. You don't. The lottery doesn't count, bruh. If you're, of course, that is one way you can have a chance. But there's like, I think the lottery is just how you stay broke. I think the lottery is how they keep people broke, and keep people hoping and holding on to that hope when they're actually throwing it away. When you could be investing in yourself and learning how to become a millionaire, you're investing it in odds that are against you. Like, I think that's so, like, I haven't spent a single dollar on a lottery ticket, bro. I think it's such a trap
now I'm granting my employees visas.
to keep poor people like hopeful without actually taking the right action it takes to actually get to where they need to be. And taking advantage of that makes them a lot of money. I don't think I'm ever gonna gamble again. It's all rigged. Yeah, the house is always has the advantage. That's why it exists.
Parents' visas, and it's a very difficult process.
But if you can find a way to invest in yourself, I think that's so powerful.
People sit there and wait on their computers and pray one day that they can win the lottery for the
visa
visas,
lottery,
and
yeah.
that changes
That's
people's
hard.
lives. But a lot of people on that day are just they don't get their visas, and they realize, you know, this is gonna be my life for the rest of my life, and
That's
it's very
tragic.
hard on them.
Yeah, because America's strict.
So wait, you need a visa to get into America, but like, what about other countries? Because I realize, yeah, like America's great for that, but like, once you get your visa denied from America, I don't understand the immigration process. Can't you consider other countries?
Well, I know a lot of immigrants myself that have came to the States or other countries or immigrated from one place to the other and built massively successful businesses, and a lot of that stems from the work ethic part.
Wait, once you homeless, you 99.99999% you stay homeless. I don't believe that, bro. I don't believe that, and I don't believe you have. Like, I don't believe if you're in that situation, you just stay that way. I feel like you can break out of homelessness. I've thought a lot about how you could break out of homelessness. It's hard. It's definitely hard. Even if it isn't, I'm reading chat. Even if it isn't rigged, like gambling just isn't it, bro. Agreed. I never win depot $20 and lose it every time. Yeah. Again, you ain't breaking the cycle. I think you can. I think a lot of people. I think it's extremely difficult.
That's why
but you can break the cycle of homelessness, and you're independently.
I think it's very brutal in every way, shape, or form to run a business, regardless of where you're from. I think it's a lot easier in the States, of course, but
yeah, how you get that dedication, I don't know, but it's definitely possible if you have the mental strength and like the mental dedication.
I really just hold the belief in my heart very, very strongly that anyone could do anything that they want, regardless of the circumstances, if you have the will and the power to drive.
Exactly, the willpower.
It isn't just about a mentality issue.
Oh yeah, but come on,
that's what we're screwing with over here.
I don't want to tell someone.
And I don't think it's like probability. I think the probability is if you have the willpower to keep going, bruh. Like, I don't think it's, if I'm homeless and I play the lottery, I have a chance to win, and that makes anyone possible to be a millionaire. No, I don't think it's that. I think it's if you're homeless and you have the willpower to actually push through things that 99.99% of people don't have the willpower to push through.
One that they have no chance.
Yeah,
Everyone has a chance.
Always a chance.
No chance, no, but close to no.
Happen.
Infinitesimally close to no chances.
Yeah, but that's not none.
We've all experienced different parts of life, very privileged parts of life. I think it's very hard to speak on something unless you've been there. I've been to the village in Nigeria. I've seen how difficult it is. When you see it live, then you realize just how difficult it is and just how privileged we are. So it's easy
I
for
can't
us
speak.
to be
I'm
like,
not
they
speaking
could just
on that.
start oil or steel or whatever, but then another thing you have to think of is the government, you know, and the different patriarchy systems.
I will not speak on how hard it is from another country like that.
How they run. And I fully believe.
I wasn't even thinking on that
whatever
level.
you put your mind to, you can do. I'm a firm believer in that. But I also I'm very open and knowledgeable to the fact that where we are at and the fact that we are teen millionaires, and that's a title because it's so rare, just goes to show the fact that it's vastly, vastly impossible for many people.
It's crazy that how.
Okay, so if we're talking about people from Nigeria and people in these very very dire situations, I'm not speaking about them because I at a baseline I'm thinking about Americans, but I still agree that anybody can become